Often imitated, never duplicated. The one and only B. Scott. You're listening to The B. Scott Show. Get ready, love muffins. Oh, yes. It's that time again.
We're back.
For The B. Scott Show podcast.
Yes.
I feel like we're getting into the rhythm already.
It's like a nice little groove.
A nice little groove.
Little shimmy. Yeah, no, I like talking to you, though.
Yeah, likewise. We have a special chemistry that I'm so happy we can share with all the love muffins.
Yeah, feels good.
Yeah.
Feels good to be back.
In full effect.
In full effect.
Let's get into these topics.
Let's do it.
Topics from lovebscott.com, the top ones of the week. And the first one I think we want to talk about is Chrisette Michele. I want to talk about her like once and for all, and then she can go back to underneath the rock that she came from. So basically, Chrisette Michele, husband, said to Spike Lee, he did like an open letter. Was it actually an open letter, or was it just
It was like open words. He like went on Instagram and did a big like fuck you to Spike Lee that Chrisette Michele then retweeted and shared on her platform.
Right.
Which I thought was just completely out of line.
Yeah.
You know,
they are milking this for every penny, every like headline, every little bit of attention possible. I'm like, we don't care anymore at this point. We're talking about it because this is the conclusion of the not K. Michelle, Jesus.
Shit, sorry, K. Michelle.
Sorry, K. Michelle. Chrisette Michele. This is the conclusion of Chrisette Michele performing at Trump's inauguration and the fallout from that.
Yeah, and I think her problem is she keeps doing interviews about it. You know, she talked to Billboard and she said that her family disowned her, part of her family, because she did it. And then she went on to say that at the ball, Donald Trump didn't even take the time to meet her.
Because he had other things
Because he had other things to do. So I don't know what kind of bridge she thought that she was going to be, not even speaking to the man who basically ruined her career.
Right. But what career? At this point, K. Michelle, damn, I keep saying K. Michelle. Chrisette.
I'll get you.
Chrisette Michele. It's just like, I really, she did what she did. She did the dirty deed. Take your check and exit stage left.
Yeah.
Or is it stage right?
Either way.
One of them. Just get
off the damn stage.
Get off of the stage. It's done. You got to check. That's what I would have said. She did the Breakfast Club today as well. And she was trying to justify her performing. And there's no way to justify other than I got the check.
I got the check. It was like cash your check and
I did
go.
it for the check.
Yeah.
And I have bills to pay. I did it for the check. I think people would respect that. I don't know if they would respect it, but they would understand it.
They didn't respect it. Shit.
The what?
Not that wig. See that wig she had on today?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was a
Did it look like she ran into it?
Yeah.
Like she was like running and then like she caught the weave.
It's like, you take it out the bag and shake it out. That's what it looked like.
Oh, she bought one of the ready-made wigs. The ones you just like...
A shake and go. Oh, but no, interesting. In that interview, besides the wig, she said that she didn't get $250,000.
Okay.
So I'm assuming she got less than that.
I thought that was really high anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, Trump is not paying nobody $250,000.
Damn, Chrisette Michele.
Especially not a black person. Okay? So I knew that sounded a little bit fishy. I mean, whatever she got, I hope is enough to last her a lifetime. Because
it's going to have to be at this point because she's not going to be cashing any more checks for quite some time.
I had never, honestly, I had never bought any of her music anyway. I have heard it, but I never bought any of it, and I definitely will not now because I just don't believe in us normalizing Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And by her performing for him is just basically he used her to be one of the just little pawns to make it seem like he's, the black community's okay with him. And then some, like maybe there's some people who don't support him, but he does have black supporters too. And I just thought that, she was literally, like they say on the Breakfast Club, she was the donkey of the week/year.
Yeah, poor Chrisette.
I think Rico Love said that underneath a post that somebody had posted about her.
Rico Love, like the songwriter?
The songwriter. He was like Donkey of the Year. And I think that's really what it is. Like she gets no love, no understanding for doing what she did other than you did what you... Like someone...
And her explanations, they keep making it worse.
You never...
The more she talks about it, the worse it gets.
Like Nene says, you never win when you're dirty. That was just dirty.
Yeah.
Like she was, of all people, she would be the one to say, okay, I'm going to go perform.
In a Basquiat skirt, talking about like I'm sending a message. Girl, you ain't sending nothing. Nothing.
Oh my goodness.
Not a thing. And she was like, she said that, now I have the attention of all of the important lawmakers. So now let me take what you say to
Sit your
them.
ass down. She needs to have a seat, have multiple seats, have a stadium full of seats.
I just...
People just make things so much worse than just like stand in your truth.
Yeah.
You needed the coins and dollars. You did it for the coins and dollars. So therefore, just own it. Accept
and I
it.
think people would be a lot more receptive to that.
Yeah.
Versus this whole.
She should have been real. She's like, look, ain't nobody checking for me. Y'all ain't really checking for me like that.
No.
So I went and got the check that was available for me.
Now she's like dropping spoken word pieces
Oh my
in
God.
an album and. Oh, Chrisette.
Maybe she can.
Trump.
Maybe she can switch to like the. I don't know.
Maybe
What can she do? Like start come out with a country record?
I think since she wants to build, she's into building. Maybe Trump can hire her to help build this wall. 'Cause I think that's the only way.
The only employment she's gonna get.
He might need some help.
Help us, Lord. Speaking of Donald Trump, he is literally signing all the executive orders in 1 week. It seems like he just wants to let me get everything out the way.
Mm-hmm.
In
Before
his
shit
head,
hits the
no,
fan.
but also he thinks. I think he may think in his head that he can just go back to normal life. Let me just get this presidency stuff out the way, and then I can just go back to being Trump and running my businesses.
Like on the weekends?
Yeah, I feel like. He's literally everything.
He's
trying to get it
civil rights
done
in 4 days.
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
It's just everything.
Every day.
He definitely spends way too much time watching TV.
Oh, for sure.
It's
apparent.
It's like anything that anybody says about him in a negative way, he's
20 minutes later, he's on the Twitter.
On the Twitter, trying to rebuff it, trying to discredit the person. Be a president.
Don't you have a job?
You do have a job, and you need to start doing that instead of being on Twitter, and instead of watching Celebrity Apprentice or whatever the case may be, critiquing that. It's just responding to the fact that no one showed up for your inauguration.
Oh my God!
He's so pissed about
the fact that he sent Sean Spicer out to lie to the American people twice. It's mind-boggling.
And then also talking about he lost the popular vote because of all these illegal immigrants that voted for Hillary. I'm like, no, you lost the popular vote because the majority of Americans don't want your ass to be president.
Right.
That's why you lost the popular vote.
Hello? And if we are going to investigate, we just start over, do over.
And then he's just signed an order today about, building the wall, this proverbial wall that he's going to build, even though, most of it already has a wall or some type of fencing.
Right.
And, for a large portion of the border with Mexico, the terrain makes it virtually impossible to build a wall.
Right.
Because he's promised a wall from, the entire border with Mexico. And I just don't.
My thing is what is a
understand.
wall gonna do? I feel like people think people are just walking across this border.
They're skipping on,
just skipping on, just walking on through, right? So that's not what's happening,
right?
So they're not going through the fence. They're not gonna go through the wall. They're gonna go around, above, under. However,
Yeah.
It's just we're only on day 6.
Yes, day 6. Speaking of another person who has been canceled, so we have a thing that we say. So when a person that we don't see, check for anymore, a person that we are that has been dismissed from our consciousness, Chrisette Michele has been canceled.
She's been canceled.
Stacey Dash has been canceled
and fired.
She's been canceled by us and fired from Fox News.
Yes, finally.
Took
them long enough.
So they chose not to renew her contract.
Yeah, it was her and a few other people, and I guess they were like, "Listen, we have Trump, so we don't need your brown face.
Right?
We don't need you. You can go.
We don't even need to try to.
We don't even have the bullshit anymore.
We don't have the bullshit anymore.
Go.
We have Trump. Get out of here.
We don't need you." So Godspeed, and hopefully she can find another job because she can't go back to Black Hollywood.
No, Stacey Dash is like Omarosa.
Yeah,
they're playing. Honestly, they all are following the checks. They're trying to figure out the black community is not checking for these individuals. So they let me just become Judas. Let me just become Judas and get this check. I personally couldn't do it, but I do see, I guess money can be a a thing that will draw someone to do these type of actions.
I mean, I guess.
I mean, yeah. I mean, what else would Stacey Dash be doing?
Blackbuster Cinemas. Hollywood Divas.
Omarosa, for example. I mean, what would she do? Like, she can't be on reality television for the rest of her life.
The only person who can do that is Tammy Roman.
That's true.
She's the only one.
No.
She's been on reality TV.
I just remember, I love Tammy, but I remember the first, I think when I really got into her was when she was being drugged. Remember on Real World when she was playing with the guy and the guy drugged her down the hallway and was this whole big thing. And I was like, oh my God. And then it kind of dates me because that was such a long time ago.
Yeah. See, I caught the reruns. So I watched Tammy season later in life. I wasn't quite there.
And what the hell is going on with Keke Palmer and Trey Songz?
You know, that's a good question. I saw today that she, I guess, is going to sue him for sexual intimidation after he put her in his music video without her permission.
I'm confused. Like, so what exactly happened?
So as she told it, she, was in Miami kicking it or whatever. And then Trey and his people were like, hey, we're having a party, come through. And because she's known Trey for so long, she was like, cool, I'll go. So she got there and she was, drinking, and I'm sure she's probably smoking, doing all type of things. And they were like, hey, we're going to film a video. And so she was like, no, you won't. Not with me. And they were like, oh, yes, we will. With you. And she was like, oh, no, you won't. So according to the video she put on Instagram, she then went to go hide in the closet. And while they were filming, somehow or another, they got footage of her like on her phone and they put it in the video for all of 2.6 seconds. And she's pissed. Basically.
Why do you think they put her in the video anyway?
So there's a lyric in the song that actually mentions Keke. Keke Palmer. I don't know if it says Keke or Keke Palmer, but I just know when they show her face, like her name is in the song. So I get that. But what I don't get is, Keke, why didn't you just leave?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know some shit's about to go down and you're not quite with it, go home.
Go home. Or hit them with a cease and desist. Like, yeah. Is that right? Is it cease and desist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, I mean, and not even, because what I don't want to do is...
Something, a restraining order stopping them from using the damn footage.
Well, what I don't want to do is I don't want to put the blame on Keke, because I feel like, anybody, man or woman, has a right not to be filmed.
Correct.
In any situation. Right. So if you are, are uncomfortable, whoever's around you should respect the fact that you're uncomfortable.
I agree.
With that being said, Keke, if you see that what you're saying isn't working, you got to go.
Right. And Trey's whole response to this is that she knew what was going down. She knew it was a music video. She came over specifically for that purpose and more or less and get over it.
Basically.
So he's not going to take it out? He's not going to re-edit it? Like, what's the resolution here?
As of now, the video has been taken down.
Okay. And she's still going to sue him because he used...
That's what she told Larry King. I mean,
oh, wow.
Keke...
Larry King?
Yeah, Larry King, it was today.
She went on Larry King's radio show?
When Keke gets a bone, she don't let it go.
Oh.
She don't let it go.
Keke.
She does not let it go.
Oh, Keke. Not Larry. Not going to Larry King about this bullshit.
I think it was Larry King. I saw it in my timeline. I'm pretty sure it was Larry King.
Oh, my God.
But, it's much ado about nothing. Because ain't nobody even going to watch the video. Had Keke not popped off, I would have never seen that Trey Songz video.
Yeah.
I would have never seen it.
Yeah. I mean, at first I thought it was something like it's just fake publicity or something, like, trying to drum up publicity for the actual video. I just don't see how that... I don't understand. Like, I just don't... And also what Trey said was true. Like, she could have texted him. If you have each other's information, obviously, why not use that method of communication to, try to resolve...
Especially if you guys are friends.
Yeah.
Like, I would never put a friend on blast in that way.
Yeah. Unless I've already tried that communication. Method of communication, and the person hasn't responded to it or responded in a way that I didn't like, then I will put you on Front Street. But then again, I don't think so, because it's like, I think that they would, I don't know, I think there was a lot of things that could have been done to prevent this outcome. Right. In my opinion. Like you said, she could have walked off. She could have, had her lawyer send something over saying you can't use me. And then additionally, don't they have to have a release? Every time that I've filmed something, I have signed some sort of release giving a person permission to for to use my footage, the footage of me in whatever project that I just shot. Mm-hmm. So
I think that they might have had one of those little card things saying, if you enter this premises, you agree to X, Y, and Z. You know how they get you sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I wish them the best. I hope they can work it out. You know, like I think I said on Twitter, the only time I ever want to see Trey Songz and Keke Palmer in drama is on like a BET movie or a TV One cinema film. I don't want it in my real life.
Speaking of BET, did you watch the New Edition?
I didn't, but I did DVR it because I heard it was really good.
Yeah.
I heard it was really good. Did you watch it?
I have not. But what I will say about it, I'm happy that BET has picked up a cue card from Lifetime. Because Lifetime has been coming out with all of
them, good and bad.
The black movies, you know what I mean? Like, and so, like, why isn't BET doing more of these? And so finally they're getting the budget, I'm sure, but also the fact I'm happy they're doing it.
Yeah.
Like, get back in the game, BET.
In some way.
In some way. Do something. Mm-hmm. We're rooting for... Well, we were rooting for you.
I mean, I think we're still rooting for them, even though, BET.
You know, what happened with me. But it turned out to be a blessing. Water on the bridge and money in the bank.
Girl. Making movies. Making movies.
I like that. Water on the bridge and money in the bank. Tell me what you think. Ow, 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 shawam.
Okay.
I felt that.
Yeah, that's extra.
You felt that shawam?
I tried
said shawam.
And I sure didn't.
Right on you. Yeah. I should do that right here and just fall out. Like,
I don't think so.
Bitica, ha!
What was that?
No?
I wish y'all could see what was happening right now. we need to turn these cameras on because there's a lot. There's a lot happening that I don't think y'all get to see.
Speaking of a lot happening, Tika Sumpter is engaged to her co-star, Nick James.
Yes. Yeah. So
she's been really, really hush-hush about this.
You know, she's never actually said his name, which I find fascinating because it's not like we don't know.
Right.
You know, so they just had a baby and she was on the reel and she was showing her ring.
For those of you who don't know who Nick James is, he is her co-star from The Have and the Have-Nots. He plays the police officer, the white police officer.
The gay one.
On the show. Yeah. So he plays the gay police officer on the show, but in real life, he's apparently straight. Mm-hmm. And he has fathered a child with Tika Sumpter. And she is a little girl. Her name is Ella Lauren.
Ella
Lauren.
Yeah.
Ella Lauren. And she just gave birth to her not too long ago. Mm-hmm. And she's announced now she's engaged to him to be married.
Yeah, congrats to them.
That's beautiful.
And I guess Ella is a really popular name because Keisha Knight Pulliam just gave birth to another Ella Grace.
Okay.
And apparently she didn't even tell Ed Hartwell that she had delivered. He found out from his lawyer after the fact. You know, which, I mean, I get it because he doesn't even think that the baby's his.
Right.
So you can't even really be mad at that.
There's so much going on. People and the things they do and how they do it.
Yeah. It's just a weird relationship to me anyway, you know. And then, like, the whole thing's been playing out in the media.
Right.
I don't have anything to say about it. That's just...
I just feel like when children are involved, I would do my best to make sure to try to keep it out of the media.
Right. I think the rules kind of change a little bit.
It's not about getting back at the other person. It's not about winning public opinion. It's about doing what's best for your child. And also, if this person is, in fact, the father of your child, then it's also about having that person, hopefully, being in that child's life. Mm-hmm. So if you do things, I believe that if you do things in a certain way because of whatever, because you're hurt, because you just want people to know the truth or whatever the case may be, that then jeopardizes the future your child will have with that person.
Absolutely.
So, like, you have to make a decision. Like, is it worth getting back at this person? Is it worth setting the record straight? Like, I had... among one of my girlfriends, it's like, that's a situation she's going through. It's like, she's torn of, like, she wants people to know how much of an asshole her baby daddy is. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, my advice was, like, don't do that because that's only going to make your situation with him worse.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't need... that he's an asshole, but everybody...
It'll come out eventually.
It'll come out. Yeah, once the asshole, always the asshole. But I'm just saying that you don't need to be the one pushing that narrative because you have a child with him. And additionally, it doesn't make you look any better that you decide to have a child with an asshole.
Hello?
So you might want to help conceal the fact that
he's an asshole. At least for a little bit. At least let him do it on his own.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's kind of like, even I feel like with that, like with friendships, it's like when... I fall out with somebody potentially that I was really, really close with, like if I fall out with somebody that I was close with, I don't necessarily want people to know the ins and outs of that because it makes me look like I'm not a good judge of character. How do we become friends like that in the first place? You know, birds of a feather flocks together. You know,
I believe that.
When something like that happens, like, you know, in a personal relationship or a friendship, I believe in keeping it quiet and letting it just move
kind of drift away and
shuffling under the rug, just push it to the side, because I don't think it's a good reflection on either person involved, because it can get really messy. When people know personal information about each other, intimate details, you just
don't want to stir that pot.
You don't want to stir that pot. You don't want to be poking at that hornet's nest because you will get stung.
Absolutely.
Multiple times. Over and over.
That was so southern, the hornet's nest. I'm like, the hornet's nest? I haven't seen one of those in so long.
Oh, my goodness.
Back to babies.
Babies.
It's just so Kirk Frost.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Lord have mercy.
So Kirk Frost from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
And I thought all this, not to cut you off, but I thought everything on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was fake and that there was just a storyline, but apparently not.
That's why I'm having a hard time with this, because he was, he is married to Rashida, and apparently he's had a mistress for like a year, and they have a son.
Wow.
Who's 6.
Goodness.
And so while they were dating,
Wait a minute. He has a mistress that he's been seeing for a year, but he has a son that's 6. What'd you just say?
6 months.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was like, wait a minute.
Sorry. Yeah,
okay.
No, 6
so he's
months.
been seeing her for a year,
and they have a 6-month-old
son. Okay.
Right.
That's better.
So while they were seeing each other, I guess he was paying for her entire livelihood. Like, put her up in an apartment, was paying all her bills. One thing led to another. They broke up. He stopped.
Oh, wow.
She's now suing him for money to pay for her and the baby.
I know that's
Not
right.
only is she suing him, but she's been filming for Love and Hip Hop.
Oh.
And Rashida didn't know until after she had already started filming scenes.
My God.
Right. So if you let the world tell it, Rashida found out. She stopped filming because she was like, y'all aren't about to do this to me. And producers convinced her to let it play out. So I guess we'll see how everything unfolds this season.
Oh, my goodness.
But, yeah, people just out here having babies.
It's crazy too. Like, it's also really crazy to see what people would do for a check.
Yeah.
Because I'll be damned if I let that type of situation play out on television.
Hello?
Because I'm liable to cut somebody.
I mean, and it's
do you really want that?
It's embarrassing.
Do you really want to see somebody running into my knife over and over?
No, I felt you back. So no.
I'm just saying, like, they're going to keep messing around and trying to, cultivate this drama, and something really bad is going to happen. One of these days, somebody's going to lose their shit and pop all the way off on everybody and the producers. But this is real life.
Yeah. And then they were saying that he might have another baby mama, like an additional one.
Oh my goodness.
Outside of the one that we're talking about now, supposedly.
So he's been laying it low and spreading it wide. He's literally been laying it low and spreading it wide.
Basically. All over the city of Atlanta. And poor Rashida, because she seems like, she seems so nice, and, she just wants to keep her family together.
It's a wrap now.
But he's been stepping out on her for years. Like,
right.
It's not anything new. Fool me once, however it goes. Fool me twice.
Don't be like George Bush. Remember George Bush fucked that all the way up? He said, we cannot go down that road. You like fool me once, how it goes. You know how it goes. You know the rest.
I'm not even going to waste my time.
Oh my goodness. It's just so much going on in reality television.
Yeah.
It's just a lot. And I did catch one of the recent episodes of Housewives of Atlanta too.
Which one?
It was the one with that Portia was being confronted about her going to
anger management.
Oh. And she didn't like the fact that but Phaedra did go to Kenya and say that Portia wanted to tell the group about her progress in anger management. And then, of course, Ken went back and said to Portia, hey, before we go on this vacation together, we want to update on your anger management, because you might come and do what you did at the lake, where she, her and Cynthia got into it, and then Cynthia kicked her in the stomach, and she lost it and was like literally had to be held down by one of the producers of the show. And I actually do agree that's a valid concern.
100%.
No one's scared of Portia.
No.
Let's be clear. I mean, Kenya.
Piggyback your ass up.
Right. She said, you piggyback your ass up. Yes. So no one's scared of her. It's just, but I do need to know that you're stable. Because I don't want to have to worry about going on vacation and someone trying to attack me.
Camping in the woods.
Camping in the woods and you sneak me in the middle of the night.
Like the damn Blair Witch.
Right. I could see her doing that.
Me too. 100%.
And she, and I just feel like it's very immature too, the way that she thinks that she can physically beat people up.
Yeah.
You know, because she said in her confessional, she was like, well, you know, something. And Candy, you know, acting like she ain't, you know, she ready to pop up. But why you acting scared? You know, or something like, I'm like, Candy ain't scared, babe.
No.
She's never that.
No, what killed me was like the flashbacks they kept doing of all of her violent altercations in the past. I was like, girl.
The funny one is when she's running
down the street.
right down the street, and it's like this little bunny. What was she dressed as? If she's a bunny?
Like a snowman.
A snow something. All I seen little white little shoes running down the street.
Portia!
She disrespectful. I'm going to stop her out.
Oh, yeah.
And mind you, these are grown-ass women.
Yeah.
And Portia, I think she's in her 30s.
35 plus.
Yes, but the rest of them are 45, pushing 50. Run around fighting and all this drama. You know, once again, we're back to the checks.
Yeah.
What people will do for the checks.
A lot, apparently.
A lot. I mean, we got to survive somehow, but it's just, sometimes it pains me to see people in this type of manufactured drama stuff. Some of it is real. I feel like, you know, some of the stuff that is shown on reality television is real. But a lot of what we see is these doctored, manufactured drama, you know, where it's like, you know, 5-6 ladies at the table and, you know,
forced to talk about each other.
And pop off. And
and
it's also sad to see certain things like, you know, Phaedra and Candy, I think they did have a real friendship outside of the show at one point.
They did.
And because of the show, or just because of
Phaedra.
They don't. And it's sad.
Yeah.
And Nene spoke out against, you know, about it and said that she actually was in support of Candy, you know, putting Phaedra on blast, blowing up the spot.
Blowing her head off every now.
I
mean, it's true. I mean, I think that, like, I think I've said this before, but you can only push somebody so far.
Yeah.
You can only expect loyalty, you know, for so long, especially when you're being disloyal to them.
Right.
At that point, shit just kind of goes out the window.
Yeah. Speaking of loyalty, are you loyal to Tidal?
Tidal Wave.
Tidal Wave, no, Tidal Music.
You know,
you have Tidal, right?
I do. I have them all. I do. I don't use Tidal though. Yeah. I don't use Tidal, but I know Sprint just bought a 33 point something percent share in Tidal.
I just wonder what that means for the investors. So all the different celebrities that got their asses up on stage, they just stood up there and said they were all partners in this company. And then here comes Sprint buying a third of it for $200 million. How does that work? Like, how does that trickle down to them? Does this $200 million go into the debt that Tidal already has because it was going under? Like, where are they?
That's kind of where it is. Because, I mean, I think that Jay-Z walks out of this a winner. He bought a Spiro back in 2014 for $56 million.
Okay.
So now with Sprint's investment, it's worth $600 million. So either way, he's walking around, you know, he's paid. But I think a lot of what people don't know is that Tidal as a company is bleeding money.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, there's a report from a Norwegian newspaper called Dagens Næringsliv.
Oh, my goodness.
Because that's where Tidal, the company's
from. What is it
again?
Dagens
Næringsliv.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So a report came out last week saying that Tidal has been inflating their subscriber numbers.
I believe it.
So basically on March 30th of last year, Tidal issued a press release saying that the company hit 3 million members. It's not true. In April 2016, just a month after the press release, Tidal made payments to record labels for only $850,000.
Wow.
So, you know, if you have 3 million members, why wouldn't you be paying for
3 million members? Okay.
So I guess eventually Tidal internally, what they told, you know, amongst themselves was 1.2 million. So they've inflated numbers to, I guess, you know, drum up interest in their company. And And even still, like the 1.2 million compared to Apple Music's 17 million, and Spotify, which is like the GOAT, they have 39 million paid members.
I just don't, from the very beginning, I don't understand the purpose of signing up for Tidal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why would I choose to sign up for Tidal as opposed to a Spotify or iTunes? Like, what is it? Like, that was the problem. When Lemonade. They came out, Lemonade. When they came out on stage, not one of the celebrities explained to me the importance of having Tidal as opposed to what I already have.
Right. And like they have the little streams and stuff, and it's just cute or whatever. And at first, they had like all of these different exclusives, which were like, oh, this is kind of cool. But we haven't had like a really good Tidal exclusive in quite some time. Because
all of their people started going back to iTunes and Spotify
and their own shit.
Their own stuff because they realized that Tidal was not where... If you want your music and stuff to pop, you don't put it on Tidal.
No.
Because Tidal fumbled the football a couple of times with these different releases. Rihanna's, for one.
Up. Yeah, they did.
But Rihanna's album was so good, it couldn't be held back by that.
And then you have Prince, like a Tidal, owner, suing Tidal. Well, his estate.
Right.
So, it's not a good look. And, to bring it home, the Wall Street Journal said that, in 2015, they had lost $28.1 million.
Wow.
And since Jay-Z took over, there are about 107 bills that have not been paid.
Wow.
So Sprint's $200 million basically is just to keep everything going. Because Jay-Z can't keep putting in money to a sinking ship.
Yeah, speaking of bills you don't want to pay, Sherri Shepherd.
What'd she do now?
She popped off. She was on Twitter blasting her 2 ex-husbands.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Like she, basically, I guess she was going in on one of her ex-husbands, if not both, had like this dating profile or something, and it set her off.
So that's what I think set her off, because she's been fighting with Lamar in court back and forth over this child support stuff, and she's paying him $4,100 a month.
Okay.
For that little baby.
Right.
The one that she didn't want.
But $4,100 a month is not that much money to make it seem like someone's robbing you.
No. But the thing is, he went and asked for more.
Oh, okay.
And the court said no.
Okay.
Thank God. Yeah, he was just trying to get, way more than probably what he should have. And so
to make a long story short, he went, so they had, it was her egg. How did it happen? Like, how did it get the baby? Because the baby was already on the way when they broke up, or did he go and make the baby happen after they broke up?
So they agreed to have a baby when they were together.
Okay.
They started the process. In the process, they broke up. But the baby was already...
That word is loud.
It did. I was like, what is happening? The baby was already cooking in the oven. And it wasn't her... If I'm not mistaken, it's not biologically hers at all.
At all, okay. But they agreed to have the baby.
Correct.
And she agreed to it, and then after they broke up. Okay, so after they broke up, she was like, I don't want this baby.
Correct. Not my baby, not my egg, not my man. I don't want anything to do with any of this.
Wow.
And he was like, oh, no, wait. You said you did, so you need to pay for this child.
And the judge agreed, and...
She's been paying.
Okay.
And he wanted more money, which brings us to where we are today. The judge said no, and she went on Twitter and just popped off. It was like a 9-tweet rant. She brought up his dating profile and how much money he says he makes. And an interesting thing she pointed out was that in the court documents, he said that he only works 20 to 30 hours a week.
One of her tweets, she said, quote, she was quoting him from this dating profile he had on his dating app. And he said, I'm single, well off, and looking. I wonder if he's using the child support money I pay for him to be well off.
Ooh. Maybe, because he doesn't work. And I saw the picture of the profile, which the pictures were terrible, by the way. They were awful.
See, this is a lesson. This is a lesson for everyone. We all go through situations or go through periods where we feel lonely and we want somebody. But you have to be careful who you invite in your life.
Amen.
You cannot, just because you want to have, like, I feel like there are people out there that, you know, and me, as you know, we all want somebody. We do. We don't want to, you know, go through this life alone. But then you find yourself, if you're not careful and you don't check that feeling and understand that it's normal and you need to continue, it's okay to be a little lonely until you find someone worthy of being with you. And I think in this case, because this is not the first time at the rodeo, this is the second time this type of situation has happened to Sherri Shepherd.
Right. Her first husband, I guess, has been feeding information to Lamar to help squeeze
Bolster
more
his
money
out of her.
Yeah.
So they're collaborating together against her.
According to Sherri.
Yeah. So you have to be careful. Like, you just cannot. It's like she obviously is attracting a certain type of guy, an opportunistic person. She's attracting an opportunistic person, and what do you expect the opportunistic person to do?
But take advantage.
But take advantage of you.
I agree. That
is too much. They both conspiring against her. They both like in cahoots to get more money from her. That's crazy.
It is crazy, but you know, you got to understand that people. You cannot expect people to have your best interest at heart.
Right.
They're always going to have their best interest at heart.
I don't know how I feel about Sherri Shepherd, because she did say some sideways stuff on The View. Remember, she said
like
some
homophobic
stuff, and I was like, girl. I mean, I don't quite remember where my side eye for Sherri Shepherd comes from, but I think it's some of the stuff she said on The View that I just don't quite remember what it was, but I know
it was really like Kim Burrell-esque.
Kim Burrell-esque? Okay.
I think, from what I recall. I just remember she tried to clarify. God, what was it?
What was it? We'll be back with that in the next show. We'll bring that back. But something, you know, you ever had that Love Muffins where it's just like you just have this side eye for somebody.
And you don't quite know.
You don't quite remember what it was, but you know, I ain't really looking at you straightforward.
Yeah,
I'm kind of looking at you like over there. That's how.
Follow that. Always follow that. By the way,
yes.
Don't talk yourself out of that. Always.
The side eye is there for a reason.
It's there for a reason.
It's there to protect you.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen.
Speaking of somebody else that's been done wrong by a man, Jennifer Lewis. Jennifer Lewis, I randomly saw this, like she posted something about it, how she found out that the guy she was with and was thinking about marrying, I think, was a con artist.
Yeah, got her for $50,000.
$50,000. Oh my goodness. So she released a statement on Facebook a few weeks ago where she learned that he was a convicted felon. Mm-hmm. And his criminal career spans more than 25 years.
Yes, sir. And he was sentenced in 2010, I believe, to federal prison.
For 4 years.
After conning investors out of millions.
$4 million. Oh, my goodness.
And she met him right after he got out of jail. But she didn't know at the time, in April of 2015.
She met him at LA Fitness.
At LA Fitness. He was a man. And that was red flag number one. Like, Jennifer Lewis, you should be dating anybody up in an LA Fitness.
Right.
I mean,
supposedly he's the manager at LA Fitness.
I mean, and you're Jennifer Lewis. So yeah. I think that alone, you know, there is a disconnect.
It should have been a red flag in terms of like, I'm going to vet you further and thoroughly.
Correct.
Being that, you know, you may be interested in me because of my status and my career and my money.
Well, apparently he's a con artist, so he had been researching her before she even knew who he was. So he knew that she was promoting natural hair. So one of the first things that he said to her, according to her, was, "I like your hair."
Ooh.
So he was good. Like he knew, you know, his in. And he got in, introduced her to his kids. He said that he was divorced. She found out that he was married. She invested in his business, and now
it all went downhill.
It all just kind of went downhill.
Oh my God.
At 60.
And he was married.
He was married.
He's married.
Correct.
Like this whole time that he was interacting with Jennifer Lewis, he was married.
Correct.
With kids.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
And she's 60. So like at what age do you stop going through stuff like this?
Yeah.
You know?
At what age?
At what age? It's like being Grandma Jane.
Right.
You know, at some point it's gotta...
You'd be like, Mama, really? It's like if my mama called me and told me she just got scammed out of some money from a guy. I'm like, you're too old. I'm like, Mama, you're 72. What do you mean?
Oh, bless her heart. But she said that she didn't regret it and that, you know, she's lived and she's made her mistakes and she's, you know, in good spirits.
We all got to love ourselves more.
Amen.
I think that's the core of it. When you see these situations popping off with people and you wonder how in the hell did they get in them, it's because they're looking to be loved. That probably won over her heart when he said, I like your hair. He said,
You know it
"Ooh."
did.
She said, it
You
made
know
her
it
go,
did.
ooh, it made her shimmy and shake, baby.
So I was
"Ooh."
patting it.
Mm-hmm. She said, I look good today. You know.
So I can envision Jennifer Lewis and Jennifer Lewis, get you a trainer so you don't have to go to LA Fitness.
Right.
Just eliminate that whole dating
moment.
pool circle out of your world.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason.
Help us, Lord. That should have been the Say What Now.
Say
of the
what
week.
now?
But getting to the Say
Is
What
it
Now.
time for that?
Yes, it is. Say What Now of the week.
So for me, my Say What Now goes to Kellyanne Conway. Because according to a Fox Business correspondent, she punched a man at least 3 times during Donald Trump's inaugural ball.
Right. I wonder what he said.
So on Facebook, he made a post basically saying that there was an argument, a scuffle. She came over, stuff got loud. Next thing you know, she was throwing punches.
Wow. I believe it.
I believe it too.
She looks like the type
to take punches.
To take to take. Oh, that's true.
Oh,
But she looks really feisty. She looks like she's just, on the edge. She looks like she's on edge.
right.
And I wonder, and she looks like she had a couple of drinks every time you see her.
Oh, several.
Several.
She hit the hotel bar hard.
Wouldn't you, though? If you were like the spokesperson for Donald Trump, wouldn't you have to be drunk?
Or evil. Or
I would have to be
both.
medicated. Like, I would, all 3. I would have to
Yeah.
be drunk, medicated, and evil.
Yeah. Kellyanne, I hope that there's video footage of that.
It needs to come out.
Can the Russians come and
the Russians-
help us out? Because I would pay to see that. I would.
Oh, my Say What Now of the week is this Mexican man who refuses to get a reduction for his 18-inch penis.
Oh my God, I saw that video. Did you see the video?
Yes, but I wanted to see it without, so his penis in the video, it was covered in this, sock thing.
That's so gross.
I wanted to see it, I wanted to see the meat.
So,
Meaty. It looked like a Subway. It looked like a Subway sandwich.
oh my God. When I was putting the screenshot on Facebook, I had to use a breadstick and make it really big for the emoji just because it's so big.
Yeah. He said that, he likes the fact that his penis is so big. And in the Mexican culture, it's the bigger the penis, the more macho you are. And so people consider him to be the most macho man in his community. And he likes that. Even though he can't have sex.
He can't do anything. Well, he can move, but it's so big, he's disabled.
Oh, my goodness.
It prevents him from walking, sitting, just doing normal day-to-day things.
I wonder, can it perform, can it ejaculate, or is it just so big it just can't do anything?
Well, the doctor said that the actual penis part is only 7-something inches.
Oh, wow.
And the rest is all cartilage and foreskin.
Ugh.
So I don't see it functioning
Yeah.
that well.
So I saw him sitting in the toilet and then he put a little cup at the end of it.
Right.
What? How does that even work? Why even go to the toilet if you're gonna pee in a cup?
Right. Just stick
It was
out the window.
strange. Yeah, it was
Yeah, there's a lot going on. And then, I thought that it was some birth defect, but then he admitted to that when he was a kid, he would tie things to it and stretch it out to make it bigger.
Oh.
So it's trauma. There's a lot going on.
He's been abusing his penis.
Yes.
And that has caused it to be the size that it is.
Correct.
Since his childhood.
Correct.
Oh, my
and he
goodness.
has some weird fascination with porn actresses, and
Oh,
there's
Lord.
something weird going on. And doctors around the world have offered to make it functional, and he's like, nah.
He likes the attention he gets
likes
from it.
But he's still in that village
Yeah.
town.
The man.
I probably shouldn't say
not
village.
doing anything with it.
Nothing. And he has to tie it to his leg to walk. It's so sad.
That's the weirdest thing, though. Why would you have something that prevents you from that it doesn't function? There's no purpose in it other than just being.
Is it
this
spiritual? Is it?
Huge, yeah. Maybe it's just the way some people just crave that attention of some sort, and so he has it. And he's like, I'm not getting.
What would you do if you went to went out with somebody and you got to that point and he pulled down his pants and there was an 18-inch thing?
I probably would laugh and be like, not today. Not today. This is not going to happen because no, you're not going to be.
Yeah, and I feel like it would be
it would be a spectacle. I would definitely like to do something with it, but I wouldn't do.
Wear a scarf?
No, it wouldn't endanger my body though. It wouldn't come anywhere close to my body.
Yeah,
I would
that's
probably,
hazardous.
yeah,
just kind of look at it, poke it. Maybe
the novelty of it all would be cool, but that's definitely not something that is ideal.
No,
That's not an everyday penis. That's not even a once in a lifetime penis. I was like, I don't know what you would do with that. Like, just maybe put it under my arm.
Do your ears hang low? Do they wobble? No.
Oh my God. Love Muffins. Thank you so much for listening. That's so crazy how quickly
I know
all of our topics just got covered today.
Everything.
We went all the way through the hottest topics, the say what nows and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. The podcast is a wrap.
You know why? Because we have anything to drink today.
Right. Maybe.
That's why.
Maybe. This is very, very healthy.
Dry.
We
have water.
And the reason for that, too, is because last night I went out and I had too much to drink.
Oh.
And the day after I have too much to drink, I can't have liquor anywhere near me.
I know
when you're hungover, I can't smell it. I can't see it. I went out. It's just like it's a snowball effect in West Hollywood. You go out to the first place. It's like, no, I'm only going to have 1 or 2 drinks. I went to Pump. I was like, no, I'm going to have my 1 or 2 drinks.
And then you want some music. Really
yeah. And then he's like, okay, well, let's just stop by the Abbey.
Uh-huh.
Abbey is like that gateway drug.
It is. It really is.
It's a gateway drug. So you get to the Abbey, and then you have another 1 or 2 drinks.
And their drinks are strong.
Yeah.
The Abbey drinks are very strong.
Then by that time, you're like borderline lit.
Right.
And then you don't want the party to be over at that point.
Right.
And then I was like, somehow I ended up a place called Manhole.
Manhole.
We're talking about 18-inch dicks and Manhole. Oh my God.
I'm in Manhole.
So I went to Manhole, which is like the hip hop. It's like a hip hop gay night.
See, that's what happens. You go to the Abbey and you get tired of that music.
Yeah.
And you want to go somewhere else because now that you're buzzed, you want to hear the good music. So you just kind of make your way down the strip.
Exactly.
From place to place to place to place. Yep. And each place you might have a drink.
Yeah. But for me, I should have went home.
Should have.
After Pump.
You should have.
I said, what did Oprah said? Never let them take you to the second location. Never let them take you to the second location.
What did she say that about? Was that...
She was talking about when you, if someone like tries to kidnap you or whatever, because if they kill you at the second location, the odds are you would never make it from the second location. So you fight, you you do whatever you need to do at the first location because that is that's when you have more likelihood of surviving.
Huh, it's good to know.
But anyway, using that metaphor to going to clubs, I should never let them take me to the second location because here I am drinking water during the podcast because I cannot take the smell of liquor right now because I'm borderline hungover.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
I am, resilient. I'm resilient. I stay triumphant. I keep on living.
Amen. I mean, if we could have made it to that meeting we did in New York after that one night.
Oh my God.
All night. I think that today will be okay.
That night was crazy. I just remember you have video of me. So this is a guy that I had bumped into.
You should just tell him the story. You should just tell him the whole story. We have the time. Just tell him the story.
So I was in New York. I remember you had to fill in the parts that I don't, or I saw differently, or whatever. So anyway, we were in New York. We went there to do an activation with Twitter for a show that they had, or Oxygen was promoting a show, and we went there to amplify the content. And so we were in New York, and the night after or the night before,
it was really the night after because all of our professional obligations
was done.
were.
But then we still had a meeting.
We had meetings.
Meeting for the book, for my book deal, and then also a meeting for our ad network.
Some web stuff, yeah.
Yeah, some web stuff. And so we were like, I want to go out. I was like, let's go out. Let's go have fun. So we went up to some bar in
Was that in Washington Heights?
Washington Heights, the Dominican bar.
Yeah.
I think. And, we were in there just having a good time.
A great time.
Smoking some hookah, having drinks. And then I met a guy in there who was like, a stripper / dancer /
I just need to make some
money person. So we were just talking, we were clicking, whatever the case may be, and all I remember is just we were outside and I was jumping jump rope.
Yeah, okay.
So he had a jump rope.
I'll back it up. I'll back it up because
I'm like, how did
I'll back it up.
Rope?
So this guy,
at 3 a.m.
The night's over. Everybody's making their way home, and the guy has a backpack. Mm-hmm. So we're standing on the corner. It was me, you, my friend Chris, and this guy, and we're waiting on an Uber. We're going to go eat? Are we going to go home? What's going on? And the guy is like, I just need to calm my nerves. And I was like, okay. So he walks over to the corner and pulls out a jump rope from his backpack and just starts jumping right there on the street corner. And I look over, And be damn, you were jumping with him.
You have video of it?
I have video of it because I was like, this is really happening right now.
God. I don't remember that. I don't remember how it all went down because I was all the way lit.
Well, yeah, you were lit, so you're like, I want to try. So you jump, maybe like 5 jumps, and you're like, okay, I'm done. But he was, like an Olympic athlete, just
it's something about him, like he was definitely a little touched. Or a lot touched, but he was he was so like a little puppy, like a lost.
He was sweet.
He was like a lost little puppy. Like, I wanted to be like, I'm here for you.
Yeah, and he started jumping rope, and I was like, okay, we gotta go.
Right,
it's time to go.
Oh my goodness. Well, at least we didn't take him back to the second location.
No, he did not make it to the second location.
At least he did not come to the
we
hotel
barely
room.
made it to the second location, and we got back at like 4:30 in the morning, and then we had a meeting at 9?
Right. It was so funny because the first day we were in New York, they got the ultra glam B. Scott.
Mm-hmm.
My hair was done, makeup was popping. I gave it to you. The second day, they got like
a little less.
A little less. The third day, you got nothing. You got the shades. You got like someone pushed me out of bed. I fell into these clothes, and here I am.
Right. Yeah, I remember you shaking me awake at like 8:45. Like, we gotta go. And I was like, how did you get in here?
Right. And then we were so ass backwards. We went to the location for the book meeting first.
So we had 2 meetings stacked, one at 9 and one at like 2.
Right.
And they were in 2 different places. Right. And somehow me, and I'll take blame for that, I switched the locations and we were like hung over, walking blocks,
Painful.
Sunglasses on, Advil popping.
We made it though.
We did.
Where did we went to Shake Shack. I remember that lunch being so good. The way I went in on Shake Shack.
I have to go after this.
Oh my goodness. That's actually an idea.
I think we should.
But anyway, so
if you can power through that,
I can power through anything.
We can power through anything.
And we power through this podcast.
Amen.
Is this the official end of this episode? Because we just went
I think it is. Now I'm about to go to Shake Shack because I think that's what my life deserves.
Yes. So, Love Muffins, I really want you to do this for me. I want you to tap a neighbor. It's not Tuesday. Remember on YouTube, I used to do Tap Your Neighbor Tuesday and tell you to tell a friend about me and about the show. So I want you to tap a neighbor. It doesn't have to be Tuesday. Please tell them that we are back doing our podcast, that they can subscribe to us on iTunes and rate and review us there. We're really trying to push people to iTunes to subscribe. So if you are listening to the show via the website or via any however, please subscribe to iTunes or Google Play because that's very important in the podcast world. We are learning about everything podcast oriented. And we are passing that on to you. Like, if you want us to stay and continue to do the podcast, you have to spread the word. We have to increase our listeners. We have to
just keep it going.
Yeah. We got to keep it going, and we got to make sure that everyone gets the opportunity to hear us ramble on about all these various topics.
Oh, we have stories for days.
We've only begun to share the stories.
Okay, so I really do want that burger now.
Yes. So thank you, Love Muffins, for listening, and of course, double kisses.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to The B. Scott Show. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Love B. Scott. And make sure you review the show on iTunes. And you can always find me on lovebscott.com.